Hey guys, welcome. Time for brake pads today, front and rear. For the front, you'll need 8mm Allen key for the caliper bolts and T30 Torx for the retaining pin of the brake pads. Also, a plier for removing the safety pin for the brake pads pin. Some brake cleaner and the toothbrush. It will be useful to clean the caliper and the pistons. Of course, the brake pads. These I bought from Amazon. You'll have the link in the description. They had good reviews. We'll see how they hold. First, we remove the pin from the safety pin from the pin brake pads. This one. And after that we should take out the retainer pin of the brake pads, because if we take out the caliper, it will be very difficult to take it down. It's enough just to loosen it. You can take it out after. Now the caliper screws. The caliper is off. Use a piece of string to hang it somehow. Don't leave it hanging on the brake line. As you can see, the pads are already gone. Just 2-3 millimeters left out of them. So obviously it was time to change them. Okay, remove the pin. See, this is the pin here, and we have to remove it. And just be careful if you do not have these retainers with the brake pads. Keep them, because you have to refit them. The pin is out, and now we can take the retainer pin and just be aware of its position. So it has this long part, goes between the pads and below the retaining pin. Okay, one is down and the other one. This is how they look. Let's put them aside. And now let's clean the caliper. Okay, so it's not perfect, it's not perfect cleaned, but it will be enough. I was only interested in the pistons to be really clean. When I push them back, I don't want them to scratch the seals and for the caliper to leak. So the caliper is clean, the pistons are clean. Now we have to push them back. There are two ways of doing this. Keeping the caliper mounted and just fit something between the disc and the piston and push them, or take it out, and I recommend it because it's good to clean the calipers. Fit the old brake pads and use a screwdriver to push the pistons. Now, before you do that, you also have to take the cap off from the brake reservoir to allow the fluid to expand. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. For removing the brake reservoir cap, you need a T20 Torx. Release the cap and the rubber protection, and now we are ready to push the pistons. Okay, I think that's enough. So you can easily test it. Just put back the caliper on the disc, put the screws temporarily. Okay, so now that we put the caliper in place, let's see if the brake pads are going in. Yep, this one went easily, and the other one. Just take care about these brackets. One is down and one is up. The brake pads are symmetrical, so it's not a problem. What we have to do now is just to fit the pin. I will clean it a little bit, and just be careful. The pin has this groove here where you have to fit the safety pin, like that. Now we have to fit this brake pads retainer. It has a single position due to this bend here, which has to come under the pin. So let's fit it. Okay, let's clean the pin a little bit, and let's slide it. Now everything is set. The retainer, brake pad retainer is in place, the pin is in place. Now all I have to do is tighten everything, and after that we'll flush a little bit the system just to have brakes. Done, and now just fit this safety pin to the groove. That's it. Now let's tighten the caliper bolts. Okay, so use a torque wrench. The torque for this the caliper screws is 45 Newton meter. One, two, and that's it. Okay guys, so now everything is in the position. What we have to do next is to bleed the brakes. For that you'll have you'll need an 8 wrench to fit it on the bleeding nipple. Okay, and you can do it by yourself, but will be useful to have another guy. Before you bleed them, just fit this rubber cap onto the reservoir in the front, because when you press the brake lever, the fluid will pop up and it might get to your paint job and ruin it. Okay guys, so bleeding the brakes. Use your 8 key to fit it on the nipple, and I highly suggest to use a tube to allow the fluid to drop into a container. I will just use a napkin to show you how it should go. On your left hand, just pump the brake lever a couple of times until it gets strong, and after that just release. the brake level will get soft and it will touch the handlebar. Again, pop it a couple of times, release and close it back, and pop it again until it gets strong and leave it like that. Check the brake fluid in the reservoir to see if it's on the level, and that's it. You're done. So check the level of the fluid. As you can see here, you can see the visiting window. It has to be above that visiting window, so I have to fill a little bit. For brake fluid, just use DOT 4.4 brake fluid and you'll be good. Now fit back the rubber, hold it in the position, and also the cap. And the screws. You have to wiggle them a little bit because of the rubber band. Now let's tighten them. You don't have to tighten them too hard because the rubber gasket will do its job and it will seal them. And if you did like me and spilled a little fluid, just use some brake cleaner and wipe it. Same with the caliper. Just to remove that brake fluid. Now fit the cap and job done. Brake pads on the front are changed. Let's move to the rear. So now to the rear. The rear caliper is a little bit different. And why it's different? Because it is attached on this aluminum piece which is attached on the axle. So in order to remove the caliper, you have to remove the rear wheel and take all this apart. But I just want to change the brake pads, so I will not remove the caliper, I will change it here. I will try to clean it as best as I can with a brake cleaner, and hopefully I will be able to fit the new brake pads. Okay, so if you take a look, you can see the caliper here is pretty much out because the brake pads are really worn. So I will just use some brake cleaner to clean it a little bit. After I cleaned it, I will open the reservoir cap, brake fluid reservoir cap. This is mine, so I lost mine. And as a tip, if you ever lose your brake reservoir cap and you are on the road and you don't have anything at hand, the cap from a nicotine bottle from electronic cigarettes fits perfectly. Of course, I already ordered one, it should arrive in a couple of days, but until then you can use such a thing. It's 100 milliliter nicotine cap from electronic cigarettes, it fits perfectly. Okay, so let's remove it because I want to try to push the piston. And this is it. Now, in order to push the piston, you have to use this kind of key. And let's see if it works. Oh yes, it's so easy. Okay. And done. Now, I have enough room to take the brake pads out. And you can see the caliper slides, so it will be very easy to fit them. Now to take the caliper, the brake pads out, just remove the pin, like in the front. It has a groove and you have to pull it. Okay, that's it. The tricky part here is you have to remove the pin from this side and it will go on the other side. So you need something sharp that can fit this hole. I use a nail that I polished a little bit the head and put it here, and after that with the same key try to push it. Let's see. Doesn't want to. Let's use some brake cleaner. And that's it. It was not how I expected, but it did the job. And this is just as simple as removing one brake pad, and let's take the second pad out, and it's so easy. This is all you have to do. Just fit them here, and after that put the pin in. And this is how the pad looks. They are I think they still had life in them, but now that I took everything off, I will put the new ones. Let's take the pin out and clean it a little bit. And just notice that this pin doesn't have a groove like the front. It has a hole where you have to fit the this safety pin. So it will go like this. Remember, in the front there was a groove here and the pin was going on the groove. Okay, I cleaned it a little bit. Now let's fit the pads. One. And the second one. And now we have to pry this in to get in place and to make room to see that small hole to put this retaining pin. Okay, it's in, and I think I have to hit it a little bit from the other side, so I improvised a bit to hit it a little bit in this side and push it in position. Okay. Yes, it's enough because I can see the hole here for the pin, for the safety pin. Okay, let's see if I can twist it a little bit. Perfect. So let me show you. I hope you see it. Okay, I will try to do this. I really hope it can focus on the hole. You can see it. So now I can put the safety pin and we're done. Just slide this in. And you know, actually I can rotate it a little bit more. Okay, and push it all the way. See, that's it. That's it. Now it's all the way in, and that's about it. What we have to do, we have to take an 11 wrench and bleed a little bit the brakes. This time I will use a hose because I do not want to drop brake fluid on the arm, on the swing arm. So put the hose here. By the way, this is the cap, the bottle that I was telling you about, where I took this cap. It fits perfectly for the rear brake fluid reservoir, and I don't know how I lost it. Maybe I touched it with my my leg, and from vibration it unscrewed, or someone took it. It doesn't matter. The idea is that I was able to fix it by chance quickly, and now I just have to wait for a new cap. Okay, let's bleed the brakes. Okay, so just like in the front, use your 11 key, pump the pedal. When it gets strong, release it, fluid will go out. Tighten it, pump again until it gets really tough. Again, release it, and again the pedal is it got stiffer. And that's about it. Done. Job done. Remove this. Fit back the cap. And that's about it. Oh, I have to put some more brake fluid because it went a little bit down. Should be enough. With the rubber. So guys, that was it. Front and rear brakes. It's not difficult, especially if you do not want to remove the caliper. Just change the brake pads on the wheel. Just be careful what you use to pry the pistons, to push them back. If you have something, plastic tool, it will help, and it will be very easy. In the back, again, the only problem is with pushing this pin out, but use one of those parrot pliers and push the piston back first, and after that, like you saw, just push the pin. And that's about it. Bleed the brakes if necessary, and you're good to go. It's not a difficult job, and I think it will take you half an hour if you follow the instruction. Check also the manual. The indication in the manual, the instruction in the manual are pretty good. So good luck, and thank you, and see you to the next one. Bye.